Hi, and thanks for being here. This is a quick case study so you can know what to expect from working with me. I'm going to take you through this really quickly because I know your time is valuable. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about what I'm presenting. I'm going to share my screen with you. So this case study is for a $30 million snack brand and they're a B Corp, which means they kind of have the triple bottom line approach to business. I really like working with brands that are trying to use business as a force for good. So when they found me, they were really looking for somebody. I want to make sure I'm not blocking some of these slides. When they found me, they were really looking for somebody. They didn't know what they were looking for. They were looking to build a content program around that supported their brand, solidified their place in the market. And they weren't sure whether or not they should be hiring a content manager or what their best move was. So I said, let me come in, build you a content strategy, and then we're going to design your organization around it so that you're not wasting a bunch of resources. Our project goals were multifaceted. We wanted a roadmap for establishing emotional connection with the consumer. We wanted to make sure that when we were spreading our message and our brand on social media and everywhere else, that it was consistent and clear. We wanted a template for, really systematically cultivating a community of loyal, engaged fans, right? That's what everybody wants. We wanted a toolkit for our internal team, influencers, and brand collaborators so that everybody was activating kind of coherently. One major issue that brands have is that we want all of these people talking about us, but if we're not controlling the message, then we're really leaving a lot of momentum on the table, right? Because if everybody's talking and controlling the same message, then your growth is going to be exponential because your consumer is really clear that they're the one you're talking to. And then we wanted to really simplify the complexity of content marketing for a junior member of the team to come in and be able to bring this program to life. Because when we talk about content marketing, there's a lot going on, right? We have owned, earned, and paid media content. Owned is thinking of your website, blog, social media, email. Earned is influencers talking about you, PR, mentions, shares, reposts. Paid, we have pay-per-click, display ads, paid social media ads. So there's a lot going on, and it's really important to get organized. This was just an excerpt from this project so you can understand, okay, this was the content strategy part. Here's what we worked on for them. We got really clear about who we were talking to, what mattered to them. Content pillars is kind of an organizational, my proprietary approach to how I organize a communication program. What it looked like, what it felt like. We went through a competitive analysis to make sure we were really attacking any white space opportunities. Digital ecosystem and channel guidelines, that's really looking at, okay, we know what we're saying and how we're saying it. How do we get it in the right place at the right time for ultimate cost efficiency? Influencer strategies, and our metrics. So once we have our target and we know what's most important to them, we organize our communication pillars around that. So this is the what we're saying it, it's the why we're saying it, and the how we're saying it. But of course, this is not enough for a junior social media manager or content person to bring it to life on a daily basis. So we really need to go into more detail. So each pillar gets its own couple of slides as much as possible, what it is, what it isn't, what it looks like, what it doesn't look like. So somebody can really come in and say from here, okay, now I can plan a month, a quarter, a year of content strategically, and all of your momentum is moving in the right direction. This is my effectiveness model. If you think about this as a marketing funnel, it's sort of how we know if our content's working at each stage of the funnel. And the items in bold are what this client was most concerned about. Looking at results, this lights me up. I don't wish. I mean, this isn't really that unique because this is just what happens when you organize and align your content strategy around your business goals. This is what happens. Massive increase in traffic from Facebook, huge from Instagram. This was a gigantic priority for them. Big from Pinterest. If we look over here, this is total sessions to their site. I'm more concerned with what I was working on, which is social. This is awesome, right? Look at this. These are the increase in social conversions compared to the previous year. Really important note I want to make, this wasn't because of the massive increase in ad spend. Everything was the same budget-wise. This was all about the content strategy. A beautiful feed that is clearly talking to their target market. Look at this engagement ratio. That is insane. And that's what happens when you're getting really clear about who you're talking to and then providing them value, and you're consistent over a year or more. Now, this is really important, and I wanted to just share this with you because right now there are two, it is perceived that you've got two options when you want to build your content marketing program or get active in this space and grow your brand with social media or content or whatever it is. People think, okay, we either need to hire a digital agency to do this for us, or we need to build out a little department. The problem with an agency is it's kind of hard to argue that you should have external people that aren't living and breathing your brand controlling your message on a daily basis. I have a big problem with how much inefficiency comes with outsourcing this arm of your business. But the problem is people do that because they just don't know what to do. It's like this space that becomes more and more specialized, and the disciplines get deeper and deeper with every year, an algorithm update and all of that. So businesses are really at a loss. And so this is what it would be. The other option, right, is to build out your little content department. So I wanted to go through some economics for you. So these are really, really conservative, obviously, salary numbers, but it's just to paint a picture for you. And of course, this is also leaving out, what is it? 140% of a salary cost is actually what it costs for a full-time employee. So I know that these numbers are super, super conservative, but it's just to make a point. This is $420,000 would be what it costs for all these roles for 1 year, and then $2.1 million for 5 years of these salary costs, right? It's a lot of money. However, in this case with this client, right, because we said, okay, let's build the content strategy and then build the org structure that you actually need around it. And this in yellow was really all they needed. And that's what that is. And $775,000 over that 5 years compared to $2.1 million. So my point is that there's a third option. It's not just an agency or go all in, right? This is risky to do when it's not your specialty. So I'm really enjoying coming in and working with brands to build the strategy they need and then build the org structure that they need to support it around that. These are some of the other brands we're working with right now. We love helping well-intentioned brands get their message out as far and wide as possible. And I would love to know if you think we can help you. Please make sure you reach out with any questions. And thank you so much for joining this.